Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 7.
Listen here, I need y'all to like, subscribe, comment, share, all the above. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by January 1st. Can we do that? No, we can't. But I believe that we can get to at least 700. I think we could do 700.
We need your help.
Please. Thank you. Let's go, Blair.
All right. Well, we are at the table with all the ladies, still getting up in Quad's booty. Mm-hmm. And Heavenly tells Quad that she's a user.
Yeah.
And that even Jackie was saying that she needed to give up on Quad.
First of all, you stop right there. I ain't mean to stop you this early in the show.
Okay.
Jackie, talk or don't have nobody talk for you.
Well, Heavenly be wanting Jackie to speak up, and she's just like, I'm going to say what she said to me in private.
Jackie, talk or don't have nobody talk for you. Mm-hmm. Because even when Heavenly was talking, Jackie just did nod her head and things like that. Talk or don't, because here's what it looks like, or the perception is that you be keying with Heavenly behind everybody's back, and you be sharing your real opinions with Heavenly and things like that, where it could be used on the show.
True.
Because you don't want to be viewed a certain way. But I feel like if you keying with Heavenly, you're already a certain way. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Continue. I ain't mean to cut you off.
Well, Jackie does speak up a bit. Mm-hmm. And she says that accountability is necessary and it also comes with action.
Okay.
Quad says, I can only state my heart. I can't make y'all do anything. Mm-hmm. Toya lets her know that, look, my family was going through torture. Mm-hmm. Pretty much behind a lot of the things that you said. Yeah. Quad says, so have I.
Oh my gosh, Quad. Wrong line, but I feel you.
I want to be good to y'all, and I want y'all to be good to me. Mm-hmm. Simone says, look, you don't mess with us all year. Mm-hmm. Then you pop in when there's an event going on, pretty much when there's taping, and it feels fake and opportunistic. Mm-hmm. Quad says, all I want is to love and be loved and have fun with y'all. Mm-hmm. Then we get a little flashback of when she actually did have a better relationship with the ladies and they were able to joke around and have a good time.
When she was new.
Right.
Early in the season.
Right. And the thing is, Toya is not ready to forgive Quad yet. Yeah. Tomorrow is a big day, so she wants to be surrounded by people who love and support her.
I agree, but I think I'm going to have an opinion for y'all in the next scene once we get into some details. Let's go, Blair.
So we get the ladies back to the room. It's all the OGs. Mm-hmm. And the ladies felt like Quad valued other friendships over them.
Sister circle.
And we get a flashback to that, and that was pretty wild. I didn't remember exactly word for word what Quad said, but by her going up here saying I was going to give up on friendships with women?
No.
She said she was going to give up on women?
She said on women. She didn't say friendships on women. So when she said give up on women, I'm about to say, whoa.
I was like, yeah, that's kind of a dagger, Quad.
And she was strong with it. You know what I'm saying? This is when we start to learn about the Miss Quad. She got it with the soliloquies and stuff.
The speeches.
Like, yes.
Well, was me. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, Phaedra is in the middle. Yeah. But she doesn't want to continue to bring Quad around if it's going to be bringing negativity to the group. Okay. Toya calls Quad and asks her to come to her room because the ladies want to have a convo with her.
Uh-oh. Continue. What happened with this convo?
Well, Quad comes to the room. Mm-hmm. I just want to mention that she gets there like 11:40 something. Okay. Simone tells her that we've decided that none of us have an emotional connection with you. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to work. And we're going to ask you to lead this trip.
Whoa.
Quad was hoping she'd get the opportunity to show them differently, but it hurts that they are in this position. Mm-hmm. She thought that the resurrection was her trying to start again and the group being able to move forward.
That's weird.
Simone tells her the resurrection was an epic failure.
Yeah, let's keep the resurrection to just Jesus, okay? Everything else, just apologies and just I'm sorry's will suffice. You know what I mean? Continue.
Quad wants them to acknowledge that she's been hurt by the group. Mm-hmm. And Simone tells her, you have stated this multiple times. Mm-hmm. We have acknowledged this and we have talked about how we've hurt you multiple times. Mm-hmm. This is one of the first nights to where we were actually able to fully express ourselves to you. Mm-hmm. You always flip the table to yourself. Yeah. And Quad still wants them to be friends. Mm-hmm. Heavenly thinks maybe sending her home will let her know that they're serious.
You first or I'm first?
You first.
All right, so let me go in real time for a second. Let me do some time time jumping. All right. So in real time, Heavenly apologized on social media to Quad, basically saying, "Oh my God, girl, this is the first time I seen this episode. How we treated you in this episode, I apologize." One thing I realized about Heavenly throughout this conversation, now granted, editing is very tricky. We don't know how long that conversation was.
Well, they left the room around 1 something, so it was clearly like close to a 2-hour long conversation.
Close to 2-hour conversation. But through the editing of what we seen, Heavenly had everything to say before Quad got there, but she didn't say nothing at all. You get what I'm saying? I feel like Heavenly leaves a lot of things to be said in her personal YouTube, and that's her business. You get what I'm saying? How do I feel about this? I feel like this is the one time. It's interesting how she said the OGs had a conversation, and I'm like, wait a minute, Quad is an OG. Like even though this is the one time where Toya can feel respected and feel equal, because many times they're not throughout many seasons or like whatever. Toya is not really viewed as respected amongst in the group.
No, they call her stupid.
So pretty much verbatim, right? So for her to align herself to basically say us OGs had a meeting, and I'm like, wait a minute, why Fedra in this room, right? And what do you mean, Fedra? When I don't want to bring Quad around? What? I'm confused. This is
you're the new one.
This is season 10. Quad been on this since season 1. You get what I'm saying? I understand that there's a lot of things in the sense of Quad do not hang around them outside of filming. So I can understand like, hey, you're phony and things of that nature. But I feel like they was in the right until they was in the wrong.
Okay.
And the right was expressing how they felt. Hey, you had time to tell us how and what we did to you. Now this is our chance for us to express basically how we feel about you. The thing that I don't like is that you invited her on this trip, in my opinion, knowing that you was gonna send her home. That's just how I feel. I feel like y'all basically tried to, even though Toya was going there for business, I felt like y'all basically carried out Toya's plan to basically get back at Quad. That's my opinion. What do you feel about this whole thing?
I just think it's so strange and unlike any other reality show of this kind.
Yeah.
To where the cast can come together and pretty much vote someone off of a cast trip.
Survivor.
That is different.
Yeah.
So that makes me question, along with some of the other things, I've just seen online, like, did this have something to do with production? Is there more to the story here? Because you usually don't see cast members having that power to tell somebody to leave a cast trip like that.
Especially someone who has the same, at least in my opinion,
seniority.
Pull. Exactly. She been there for, it's one thing if they say Fedra, you kind of wilding. Lateasha, you kind of wilding. We want to ask you to leave. But to say like the OGs had a meeting, Quad is an OG of Married to Medicine. Yeah. If y'all like it or not.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And I also, I don't like the way Heavenly handled it.
I don't either.
I thought, Heavenly, if y'all are really friends, why aren't you sticking up for Quad at all in any type of way? I mean, you went over to her house, y'all talked, y'all apologized. Then when you were at the dinner, you were getting all riled up and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you yourself, you also say y'all are sisters. She was sitting at the table. Quad, you say we're sisters, but you're using me. But Heavenly, you always say she's sleeping with a married man. And she tell you she don't like you saying that.
Just a couple weeks ago, you called her homeless.
Exactly. So I am just very confused of how this is even possible, one. But two, I do understand the fact of, Quad, if you don't have an emotional connection with us, you're not willing to apologize. Because Quad is not good at apologizing.
No, she's not.
She is going to go all around the mulberry bush to say what y'all did to me and we need to do better and all this type of stuff. What can you do better?
She's like, you know what?
Can you tell me your part?
Let's just start over. She's like,
I just want to be loved and to love. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I feel you.
Now, how are we going to fix the situation?
Now, listen.
We got to work together.
Now, listen.
Okay, Quad.
I don't think you are absolving Quad of any blame.
No.
I don't think you're doing that. And I hope it don't come off as if I'm doing that as well either. I feel like Quad played a big part as well in where they are in their relationship. But also, let's not forget that, come on now. Y'all did bring her ex-husband back on the show.
Yeah. and his new wife, and she's supposed to be up here chummy with him.
Exactly, and and I'm just saying, like, when they was getting divorced, there was some that wasn't as supportive, you know.
And especially the fact that Quad saying that they gotten into physical altercations.
Yes, allegedly. I don't want to put that. Don't Tasha K me.
Right, allegedly, but based off of what she was saying.
Based on what she was saying,
and nobody really stood up for her or like felt. I felt emotionally empathetic towards her in that situation.
At least from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like, to say that we don't have an emotional attachment to you, that's kind of strong.
Well, she said it first.
I understand that. But I'm like, so where do this leave y'all? Number one, Quad, why would you even want to be around these people? Because now I'm pointing the gun back at Quad, a water gun, of course, right? I'm pointing back at Quad like, hey, if you don't hang around these people for 9 months, talk to these people out of 9 months, 10 months out of the year, things like that, outside of a check, what is what are you doing here?
But see, I also don't see a problem with that, because in a lot of these reality shows, a lot of these people ain't friends, or people only hang out with who they want to. And when it comes time to filming, you do have to reestablish these friendships and things like that, or alliances or relationships. So I just think it's odd that for some reason Married to Medicine is more required of you outside of filming than any other show.
Well, put it like this. I think it's more in the sense of, I think what this may seem superficial, but it is what it is. I think the fact that Quad is not a doctor, guess what? It just makes it easier to just box you out.
And you're not married to medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because you're not a doctor, it will serve you to be on your best behavior. Because the doctors can get together and vote you out. Remember, Toya had to get them together to carry out this plan of hers and things like that. I'm not saying it was her plan, but you get what I'm saying. Toya was one making the phone calls and one who she was getting to book the rooms or whatever. But I'm sure we should go see more about this. Continue.
But also, I wanted to say that with Quad, her thinking that this resurrection was a success, Quad seems like a very reasonable, eloquent lady.
I don't know.
And in a lot of ways. So I would love to see her rooted in reality of her role in things and how things actually play out. Because the resurrection was an epic fail. It was a whole lot of yelling and finger pointing from Quad.
She straight came out of a casket.
So I'm just like, I'm not getting what she's not getting.
No, I mean, she's not getting it. I mean, yeah. You said she's a understandable and things. I'm like,
maybe she's not.
She came out of a casket.
Yeah.
As an alive person. To me, that already lets me know, as an introduction. That all kind of lets me know, like, I don't think you're there with me.
All right.
I don't think you're here with me.
Yeah.
Because what would have been better is just a dinner and just saying, hey guys, I'm sorry. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I apologize. Not know you sitting up like the Undertaker inside the casket talking about like the resurrection. I thought that was good. No, the presentation, the casket, and all that stuff probably went as planned. But everybody else felt proud. I heard that y'all was about to fight. You and Toya was about to fist fight. You get what I'm saying? So like it's just a lot. But guess what? This is why I love Married to Medicine, because you don't see scenes like this in other reality TV shows.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, y'all are really taking it there. But continue.
Well, the next morning we see Quad in her room eating her breakfast.
Get that last breakfast in.
She felt that last night was a pile up, and she doesn't feel heard.
Okay.
She also expected more from Heavenly, and she, feels that she's really been there for the woman in the past and was upset that nobody stood up for her.
But they haven't been standing up for you. So to point it out now, it's kind of like it's a moot point. When it gets to this point, someone has to be the bigger man and put aside their feelings and be like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
even though both parties may feel equally wrong. I feel like Quad is wrong. I feel like the girls is wrong on how they handle it. I feel like they was right to feel what they feel, but how they handle it, sending that girl home when they really didn't want her there in the first place.
Yeah, I'm like, why even invite her?
Exactly. I'm like,
if y'all had to have a whole meeting about whether or not she can come, don't have her come.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, continue.
Yeah. Well, T calls Dr. G, and Dr. G tells her to stay out of the Quad situation.
Stay out of it.
It's none of your business. Toya explains to Dr. Eugene what happened with Quad. Eugene isn't happy that they had to have this intervention with Quad, but he was glad that the ladies were in solidarity with Toya.
Yeah.
Toya says that they all had their separate issues with Quad and just all brought them up to her individually.
How do you feel about everybody getting their issue off at one time? I'm never a fan of that.
Yeah, because it's like you're taking the strength or the confidence of somebody else and you not actually going to the person and hashing things out.
Yeah.
Like I felt like Heavenly went to talk to Quad and hash things out individually. And I understand with the show's purpose, we're all taking a trip. Now it's the perfect time. We're at dinner. But if they really, I feel like, cared, then they would approach her. But I don't think anybody really cared.
No. I think they
just wanted to tell her, you're wrong.
I think they would have been good just ignoring her.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, Jackie is nervous to talk to VP Kamala Harris. And they're going to be talking about the Black maternity mortality rate.
Yeah.
And it goes really well for her.
Good for Jackie. Good for Dr. Jackie.
The rest of the ladies go to Toya's room. Toya relays that they asked Quad to leave. The ladies arrive to the Vineyard for brunch and a wine tasting. Dr. Jackie arrives a little bit later, and she says things, went well with VP Harris.
Nice.
Simone asks for rosé.
Of course.
And Toya, she's over there trying to explain to them the beef pairs well with this. This goes well with that. And you need to try these different wines so that you can really get the full experience. Simone said, just give me a glass of rosé. I don't need all that extra.
I don't need all that, exactly.
Well, Heavenly makes a toast for T that they're burying their issues. And T says, well, I guess it's a new day.
Lateasha don't bang with Dr. Heavenly.
No. And I wouldn't either.
She don't bang with her.
If I was T.
I'm talking about in real life right now.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't trust her.
Yeah.
I understand. Continue.
Yeah. The other ladies are going to take pictures while Toya and Phaedra go to her meeting. And Phaedra wants to have Toya there as to be like a focus group, someone to bounce some ideas off of, to be like the public or whatever. So Toya talks about how a big thing going on now, especially in Atlanta, is about people wanting to support Black-owned businesses. And she asks these white ladies, which I felt like was weird to ask them, but
very strange. But look, though, listen, if Toya could get into that lane, go ahead, Toya.
Yeah, but she asked these ladies how she can incorporate that into what she's doing, and the ladies do give her a good tip of basically like, well, you can be a conduit of information, and in your boxes you can have a plethora of different price points for people in different tax brackets or things like that. So that's a opportunity for Toya.
Okay.
I thought Phaedra also brought up a good idea of where people who buy a certain amount of bottles of wine can do a tasting with Toya, and maybe they can go on like a tour to different vineyards with her. I'm going to get that full experience.
Nice.
Then Toya brings up, we could also do like tips, like this is why you hold your glass like this. This is why you chill certain wines. So it seems like they had a really good productive meeting, and I really like seeing Toya's marketing materials, like her pictures and all that type of stuff. It just looked very professional, and it looks like she's taking this very seriously, and I'm glad to see she's got something going on that she's passionate about. That's cool.
Toya said, y'all ain't gonna be talking about my tennis lessons no more.
Right.
Okay, I got a job, y'all. Okay, continue.
And we pan out to outside, and T brought the ladies brown liquor and some flasks.
Of course, I know Dr. Simone was happy.
Yes. Next, we go back to Atlanta, where we see all the guys meet up to play virtual games. So we see Dr. Kema's husband and actually get to interact with him a little bit for the first time. Yeah. And it is his first time watching the kids alone.
Interesting.
He's got a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. And Dr. Cecil, we get a little backstory about how Dr. Simone would volunteer to babysit other people's kids when Miles was young, and she would also be on call, so she'd have to go up into work, and he'd be at the house with his baby and somebody else's baby.
That's interesting.
And basically, all the other guys are like, yeah, I've watched my kids since they were babies. So, Eugene explained the Quad situation to the men.
Yeah.
And Cecil says that he would hope that Quad and Simone could come back together because they were genuine friends at one point. And G, he's over there trying to get the information. So they said, what now?
Mm-hmm.
And they told Quad to leave. Is she gone?
Listen.
He said, hell yeah. He doesn't want T and Quad to be cool in the same friend group. None of that. He's
I agree,
like,
though.
Yes. Let's wrap this up.
I agree. We ain't gotta play nice.
Right.
We ain't gotta be fake nice.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Dr. G feels vindicated in some fashion. He says, look, dude, y'all see why I divorced her? And and Dr. G, I would say, we got video. Mm-hmm. We got video of you acting kind of strange.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Not all the other alleged stuff, but like you not being a understanding husband. We got seasons of that with you.
Yeah.
So don't feel so vindicated with this, you know? Continue.
And the ladies, they arrived to dinner.
Yeah.
And Toya, we learned that she put working in a wine company on her vision board a few years back. So they're talking about how she's manifested this. And then Simone started to realize what she and Cecil fight about is really petty. Heavenly says that, in her marriage, she said some things that she probably shouldn't have said. And Dr. Alicia talks about, as her husband, who's a Nigerian, he grew up with helpers and servants. She was raised by a single mother, and she grew up very independent. And she wants to learn to be more of a submissive wife.
Okay, nice.
She said in the past that she would do all the hard stuff, like basically stuff around the house, handyman work, and things like that, and even tell him that he wasn't a man.
Whoa.
Which she says she would take those words back if she could.
Yeah, well, I already heard them.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, yes, I'm taking that to my grave.
Simone kind of let us in on the fact that when Dr. Alicia's husband is around, she really doesn't say much. But when he's not around, she's a lot more outspoken. We even kind of get a clip of that to where I think she was ready to leave the party. And he was saying, give us a minute. Basically, us men, we out here talking. And she said, okay, I ain't gonna ruin y'all fun. But she is a little bit more outspoken here, and I am enjoying her personality, and I wish she would, talk more.
What was Dr. Simone trying to allude?
I don't think she was trying to allude anything, honestly. You think she's trying to say like she's scared of her husband or something?
No, I just find it like people are more outspoken with a circle group anyway. So I don't understand the reason to point that out. Like if she's with her doctor friends, she's going to have a different personality than when she's with her husband. So that's why I'm like, what was she trying to allude? Yeah. Continue.
Well, T sometimes wants to be heard, but she doesn't always want to have a problem solved. Toya asks, where is Dr. O to Phaedra? Phaedra said, we broke up, but I got another doctor.
Phaedra,
basically, y'all ain't going to kick me off this show. No, I keep a doctor around.
Listen here. Toya's like, we got Quad out. Hey, Phaedra, where's your medicine? Your medicine. Yeah. Where that's at? Toya, Phaedra, where's your medicine? You're like, oh, don't worry about it, girl. We broke up. Oh, but I got a new one. I saw what y'all did to Quad. Y'all not gonna do that to me. Anything else on this episode? I
did want to touch on the fact of Dr. Alicia saying that she wanted to be a more submissive wife. What do you think about her saying that? I mean, with the fact of her being a doctor as well as her husband, and she even mentioned that he, is a provider for the house and things like that. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, Dr. Alicia, so are you. So, what are your thoughts on just kind of that?
Submissive. I think that's cold word in the way that she used it. I think for her, she wants to take the back seat on a lot of things. Okay. I think that's her way of saying like, hey, I basically want to spearhead on a lot of things, but now I want to take the back seat and let him make the decisions, like go on more trips and he watch the kids and things like that. I don't think it's more of submissive in the sense of I want to be obedient. I think it's more of I'm gonna actually give you some burden. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. What did you think about it? Yeah,
and I'm talking about it in the way of which I think she's trying to use it in her relationship. Because I was thinking with submission, maybe she meant just to be more quiet, more obedient in a way. But when Dr. Simone said, well, she already is kind of like that when her husband's around anyway. So maybe she's just like that in public. Maybe she wants to be more like that at home. Or maybe, like you said, she's pretty much running the household.
Yeah.
And she would like for her husband to take the reins so that way she doesn't have to lead in that way. And he can be the one to do all of that type of stuff so she can take a more supportive role. So, all speculation. But
yeah, it's all speculation. Anything else?
That's it.
Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment. We are going to be back. We saw the trailer for more to come with this season. So this is going to be an interesting season, man.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all start watching the show, sharing it, man. This is a great show. Anything else, Blair?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.